Okay, guys, we just got back from watching Wicked. Now, usually I wait like a week or two until I film my review because I want to get my entire thoughts, in mind because I want to see how the movie holds up. But I'm doing things a little bit differently with Wicked, because it's the day after I watched it. It's something really, really rare for me. I don't think I've done something like this since like No Way Home, which was my first ever review. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit different, but I guess that can maybe lead to, you guys telling what I thought about this movie. First off, I just want to give you guys some background knowledge about my, how I view Wicked. So of course, Wicked was a Broadway musical before it was a movie. It was actually based off a book, and then they made a Broadway musical. And so I wasn't aware of Wicked until I think it was fifth grade in my music class. And so one day in music class, we kept learning about these Broadway musicals. So we learned about Phantom, learned a little bit about Hamilton. We couldn't watch it because it was a little bit inappropriate. Love Hamilton. And then we got to Wicked. And of course I knew about Wicked before. I think everyone knew what, people know the song Defying Gravity. People know the song Popular. I just never knew, like, what it really meant. So I go home and start doing my studying, and I become obsessed with this. Something pretty casual and usual for me. Couple months, it's just nonstop Wicked, watching bootlegs. I'd probably seen the show twice in its entirety, through bootlegs, but I've listened to the music countless of times. And so I am now considering myself a true, real fan of Wicked. So, I think I had pretty good knowledge going into this because I knew a lot about the show. And so they announced the cast of this movie, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. At first, I was a little bit mixed on the casting. I knew who Cynthia Erivo was. Of course, I knew who Ariana Grande was. And so I was kind of skeptical, but I was open to it because I knew both these people are very, very, very talented. So all led to this year. They show us the trailers. I got goosebumps to the trailer I reacted to on this channel. I'll put that in the corner somewhere. But yeah, I thought that trailer was really good, even though I didn't really like the whole look of the film, which is something I'll get into later. I still was, I still was pretty moved from the trailer, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a watch. Holy crap! When I walked into that theater yesterday, I knew it was gonna be good. I'd seen the reviews, I knew everything about it, and so I was just thinking, you know what? This could be something special, I mean, I'd seen the musical. I know the main central plot of it. Wicked blew my mind. Genuinely, it is the might be the best Broadway to movie adaptation I've ever seen. And honestly, what other competition does it have? In the Heights, I watched. In the Heights is fine. In the Heights does things that are just a little bit too different from the musical. And also I'm not a huge fan of the Anthony Ramos casting, even though he's fine. But this was just, you could tell they put so much heart and joy into making this movie. They put blood, sweat, and tears. Everyone I could tell cared about this movie so much when they were making it, and I was just thinking like, thank you. I never thought we'd get a Wicked movie that was made so well, that was acted so well, directed so well, like production design, costume design, everything was made to perfect to a T. It really transported you to the world of Oz. Let's get into the pros, which it's gonna be a ton. The cast: Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are perfect. There is no complaints about their performance. If I see someone complaining a little bit, I will get mad. Because it's like, what more could you have wanted? Let's start with Ariana Grande, who is the supporting actress of this movie, even though they're kind of just co-leads. Ariana Grande, when you ever think of an actor, you don't think of Ariana Grande. You don't think, oh, she's gonna be playing, she's gonna be playing Glinda, and you're like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure it's just because she's popular, no pun intended. Because she's popular, she's a pop star, so I mean, of course they're gonna cast her because she can give that fan base more, more able to watch it. But like, she blew my mind. I knew that she cared about this character. She said multiple times that this would be her dream role. She was phenomenal. She was so funny. Probably the best comedic performance I've seen all year. She was so funny, so charming. But when the emotional moments happened, she was still able to bring all of that in. Her performance, she hit every single thing. And her vocals, she can sing. We all know Ariana Grande can sing, but Ariana Grande singing those songs that were made famous by Kristen Chenoweth and doing kind of the same but also doing a little different spin on them was beautiful to see. Her vocals, everything were top notch. I can't talk about her performance without mentioning the fact that Variety put her as the front runner for Best Supporting Actress. Now, in no way am I saying that Variety is like the most like is the best at predicting things. Like, they've gotten things wrong. They get things wrong all the time. So I'm not gonna say that it's kind of locked in, but I'm just saying that it's either her or Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. They are going at it for this. Personally, I haven't seen Emilia Perez. I'm planning on watching it really soon, but as of now, I don't know if anyone's gonna beat my, if anyone's gonna change my perspective on me thinking that Ariana Grande is my choice for Best Supporting Actress. She is just perfect. There's no flaw in her performance. There's nothing she could have done differently or better or worse. She was just exactly what you want out of this character, and I give her all praise for that. Then Cynthia Erivo. I hadn't seen anything with Cynthia Erivo in it. I hadn't seen Harriet. I'd seen clips from The Color Purple, her on her Broadway, in 2015, I'm pretty sure. I seen clips from it, but I didn't know that she was so insanely talented. Her voice is like, it's like butter whenever she sings. It's so smooth, and she does it like, I mean this in a good way, effortlessly. She just gives you a good vocal, like, she's such a great vocal talent, but not just vocal talent, her acting is incredible. Whenever you think of Elphaba, you think of, kind of like shy, but also passive aggressive in all these different ways. And Cynthia Erivo does that to a T. I really, really wish that this year wasn't so competitive for Best Actress because I don't think she would win, but I think that she would 100% get a nomination. I have her in my predictions for a nomination for Best Actress. I don't see a lot of other people doing that, so that's kind of going to be my, my out there take for this year, but I really hope she gets it because she is so phenomenal. We can't talk about her performance without talking about Defying Gravity, and boy, does she give you such a great performance in that scene. She is just constantly topping herself each and every single scene with just her humor that she brings to the role, with also just the dramatic, the dramatic and emotion that she has to bring to the role is just perfect. It's kind of hard for me to pick what performance was better, Ariana or Cynthia. So I I can really see, like, everyone's perspective on who's better. But for me, I think they're both incredible. The supporting cast doesn't do much. Now, I've seen the second act, so of course I know what happens in part two, and they get a lot more to do. But I would say in this, they don't do a ton, but they do set up what their roles are going to be in the future. I think the actress of Nessa Rose did good, because you are, you're supposed to hate her. If you guys are fans of the musical, you'll know Nessa Rose's character and what it turns into in the second act, but she does a good job at setting that up and just making her really, really unlikable. Like in those scenes where, Elphaba was doing, oh yeah, I forgot, this is a spoiler review, my bad. Where Elphaba's doing her dance at the ballroom and she's just like, I can't watch. What the heck? She gets on my nerves a lot. Actor of Bach, Ethan Slater, who played SpongeBob on Broadway. I'm not going to get into that drama with him and Ariana. I'm not going to get into that. I think it's kind of messed up, SpongeBob, but, I think he did fine for the role. Again, his character is annoying, but, he was perfect for what he had to be. Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard is, what do you think when you think of Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard of Oz? Like, yeah, it kind of just makes sense. He did perfect for the role. I didn't know he could sing that well, but he sang pretty good. Michelle Yeoh as Madame Morrible was a really, really inspired choice, but I think it was perfect casting. Michelle Yeoh, of course, Academy Award winner for Everything Ever All at Once. She was perfect as Madame Morrible. She gave you that, that sort of presence of the character, and, I could feel that every single time she walked into a room. The commanding nature of her character was really, really well played. So yeah, I think she was really good in the role. I think she was a good casting. For me, I would have liked to see Glenn Close play the role, because I'm pretty sure she could have done a great job, but I'm not hating on Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh is one of my favorite actresses ever, so I'm really happy she got this role, and I think in part two, she's going to be doing a lot more, and she's going to be very good. Then Jonathan Bailey as Fiyero. probably the third lead in this movie. He was fantastic. He gave you that charm that you were looking for in Fiyero and just put it times 10. I like Norbert Leo Butz as a role, but Jonathan Bailey just did great as Fiyero. That dancing through life scene was just, it's kind of impossible not to just go during that entire scene. He did fantastic. That's it for the cast. So now I want to get into the music. We all know Wicked has good songs. Like, come on. It's Wicked. We've heard the songs before. I've never heard it sung like this. Almost every song, it's hard for me to say, but almost every song is better than the original cast recording. Love the entire original cast. I think they do great. But I don't know what was going on with this cast, but they are just so unbelievably talented. They could just make these songs that we already know just feel like brand new songs because of the new vocals they bring to it, but also new like acting in their voices. Like, it's kind of completely different songs. I'll tell you, that opening scene, No One Mourns the Wicked, was very, very well played, and the music in that scene was great. I thought it was a really good way to open the movie. But as soon as Cynthia started singing The Wizard and I, something like that had never happened to me in a movie ever. I was started to tear up, and I was close to crying, because I don't know what was happening, but just, it really hit me that this is the movie that we've been waiting for, and it's being done so well. The Wizard and I is one of my favorite songs ever, along with other songs in this show, and so I think to see it sung and played that well was really, really emotional for me. I don't know why. It's just, that entire scene was just, it was hard to believe. It was really just truly awe-inspiring. And then What Is This Feeling? What Is This Feeling is, I wouldn't say underrated because people love it, but What Is This Feeling is so good. Like, even on the original cast version, it's good. And this movie, with like the camera work and everything, it was so good. That song is such a great like background song that you can listen to at any single time and you'll still love it. Popular was of course great. Everyone's heard that song, but Ariana Grande brings her own touch to it, and in that scene in the movie is hilarious. I was laughing throughout the entire thing. And I think Ariana Grande, that was her best comedic moments, were in that scene. I think she was hilarious. Dancing Through Life is the one song I'd say isn't as good as in the original cast. More of like a pop song in the movie, and that doesn't really work entirely for me. I'd say it was fine. It was well sang, but I don't know. I kind of prefer the original cast where it's kind of more soothing, you know. I like that version better. And of course, Defying Gravity. Defying Gravity in this movie was electrifying. Of course, I love the original cast version, but Cynthia Erivo brings something different to it. They knew it was going to be good, but they added something new to it with, you know, the movie version being able to show these clips of different people reacting to Elphaba saying these things. Completely changed the entire perspective of the song. It was unbelievable. I am so glad they were able to nail that scene. That was probably the best ending to a movie I've seen this year yet. Overall, my only critiques are, I can't even say these are critiques, like, because they're such nitpicks, but they don't really take away my, you know, view of the movie. I'd say some things are a little bit too predictable for people who hadn't seen the musical about what's going to happen in the next movie. They're a little bit too predictable, but I already know, so that kind of can't even really be a nitpick for me. Everyone says that Elphaba and Glinda's relationship is a little bit rushed, but that's a critique I have with the musical a little bit, but like, yet again, I can't even say that's a critique, because in that Defying Gravity scene where they're saying about being each other's friend, like, it is so unbelievably rewarding. It's just crazy. I cried during that scene. It was just just in those scenes where I even know what's going to happen, the fact it's able to make me cry is just something so beautiful. And my audience was packed, filled with a ton of Wicked fans. It was so amazing to be in that audience of people who just cared so deeply about the musical. That was beautiful. Everyone was sniffling and crying as soon as I left, just raving about it. Perfect. That scene was perfect. They nailed it. And again, people who complain about the color of this movie, there are some scenes and some shots that I think, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. The sun is always just white on them. But I do think people exaggerate a little bit too much about it. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying. You can still see the color in sets and the beautiful sets and costumes, the color of it. I mean, it looks they look pretty good. They look great. And yeah, and again, some of the CGI is a little bit weird, but again, I can't complain about that even and I like the MCU, so Wicked, as a fan of the musical, I cannot stop thinking about this movie. And as a movie itself, I'm I'm very gatekeeping to when I say this. And so it's a loose one for me. I think I'm gonna give Wicked a 10 out of 10. It's a very loose 10 out of 10. I didn't think I was gonna give any other movie a 10 out of 10 this year besides Dune 2, because Dune 2 is amazing. But I don't know, something about this movie is just I can't get enough of it. I want to see it again and again and again with anyone I can. Um, I'm gonna give it a 10. With my 10 out of 10s, I'm really like secretive towards them. Like, I don't like I don't try and give them out a lot, but just Wicked just is perfect. It's a perfect adaptation of the musical, and I think it just does it so much justice. I think that Wicked is phenomenal. So for that reason alone, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I could give it like a 9.5, but I'm just going to give it a 10 because on rewatch, I could see myself liking it even better. So, you know what? Whatever. Wicked just enthralled me. It is emotional and amazing. My second favorite movie of the year. For Wicked, I think it'll be nominated for a lot of things, but I think it'll win production design and costume design because that is a really strong point of the movie. Wicked defies gravity in almost every single way. The acting is incredible. The music is incredible. The production design, costumes, everything about it. It's a perfect movie, and I don't think if you like musicals, if you don't like musicals, I think you'll love Wicked either way. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to comment down below what you thought of Wicked. Tell me if you loved it as much as I did. Tell me if you loathed it. And just give me your overall thoughts. Give me your Oscar predictions for it. Just tell me everything. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to try and hit 100 subscribers by the end of this year. Probably not. We have new things coming on the channel soon, so stay tuned. But I guess until next time, adios amigos.